This might be the single best piece of advice to advance in your career, to get promotions and raises faster. What I'll cover in this video will apply no matter the size of the company you're in, although it will apply more to more rigid and slow-moving companies out there. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Will. I work in tech and I build businesses on the side. I document my journey, and if you can get value from this, then it's awesome. Let me tell you what has worked well in my experience, whether it is applied to me or other folks. Challenging the status quo, or innovating for short. It's one of the best ways to provide value. And providing value means more chances for you to get recognized faster for your work. So let me tell you how you can do that. And stick around, as I do have to mention a twist about this tip. Now, what does challenging the status quo mean? Organizations tend to normalize to one way of doing things. We, humans, have a natural tendency to resist change. And since organizations are made up of humans, organizations resist change. Great. The problem is now defined, but let's expand that. In nature, animals have to evolve, otherwise they go extinct. Same thing with organizations. So you can start to see the paradox. Organizations resist change, yet they need the change to survive. This is where you come in. As part of a motivated employee of this company, you want to do things right. You want to work for the survival, if not for the expansion of the company. And in the meantime, get well compensated for it. So what you're going to apply is what I call the 3-year-old rule. If you have been around 3-year-old humans, you know that they usually ask why all the time. They don't exactly care about the answer, but they do want to ask why. And they'll ask why even when you answer the first why. Sometimes answering them leads you to be out of answers after 3 or 4 whys. And yet, the kid will still continue to ask you why. So let's steal a bit of wisdom from those tiny humans and ask why, in our business, are we running things that way? You might think that it is rude to ask that, but it's not. You need to have a candid and honest tone to ask why to your boss, colleagues, or others. Most of the time, you'll notice that after 1 or 2 whys, they might not have a good answer. It's usually then that you'll uncover the facts that might not be a good reason for how things are run and is just the status quo. And I see you telling me, so that's it, I just need to ask why and I'll get raises. And no, it's not exactly that, it's not enough. So it's not enough to just innovate. A lot of people stop there. They just ask the why or simply complain. But that's not enough. If you truly want to bring value, you need to offer solutions to those problems. Now, I'm not saying that you need to execute the solutions, but I am saying that you must make sure to define what those solutions will look like and what it will take to put in place. You can also specify the impact that the solution will have, good impact or bad impact. Most often, teams are low on staff. It is very rare that companies have more people than they need to do the work. This means that as you bring the solution, you are making a business case. This business case should help your boss or above to justify the investment in that solution, be it an investment in time, money, people, or all three. Now let's talk about a concrete tip to apply as soon as you're back to work. The easiest way to apply this is to start small. You're going to note down an issue or a complaint that you or your colleagues have been expressing and saying, then try to identify up to 5 whys, answering the question, why is it like this? Then answer the why of that answer, and so forth. If you can't figure out the why or you feel blocked at some points, then you can ask whoever is in charge and see how far you can go. From this list of whys, try to come up with a solution. Then you can list out what the main steps will be to put in place this solution, the costs and impact on the current business. Then very candidly present this to your boss. In an ideal situation, you'll be the one driving the initiative of that solution. If not at the first try, then maybe the next one or the one after. If you're like me and you don't like status quo, then I'm sure you'll get value from this tip. If that's the case, you know what to do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.